Welcome. Have you ever wondered why we so actively avoid the very things we absolutely know we should be doing? It's a universal struggle. In this explainer, we're unpacking the fascinating psychology of procrastination. Let's jump right in and see if we can totally change how you view your own daily habits and frustrations.
Think about it for a second. Right now, at this exact moment, you are probably supposed to be doing something else, weren't you? Maybe studying, wrapping up a big work assignment, heading to the gym, or cracking open that book you've been avoiding for weeks. But instead, you're watching this. Kind of strange, right? You know exactly what's important in your life, so why didn't your brain choose it? Are you just lazy? Or is there something way deeper going on behind the scenes? Let's figure it out.
Meet our proxy for today, Rahul. Now, Rahul has one of the biggest exams of his entire life tomorrow. He's got his books wide open, his study timetable is perfectly mapped out, and he's even poured himself a fresh, hot cup of coffee. Physically, everything is completely dialed in for a long night of studying. But there's just one massive problem. His brain isn't ready at all.
Naturally, he unlocks his phone and tells himself, okay, I'll just take 5 minutes. Look, we've all been there, right? Just a quick 5-minute break to clear the head before the heavy lifting actually begins. But one short video quickly spirals into 10, then 20, and before he even realizes what hit him, a whole hour just vanishes into the void. The clock ticks forward, the room gets darker, and the actual work, totally untouched. Sound a little too familiar?
Now, if you ask society to look at that lost hour, most people would confidently declare, well, Rahul's just lazy. But psychology strongly disagrees with that, because laziness actually isn't the real reason we put things off. Something else entirely made the decision to pick up that phone, long before Rahul consciously realized he was doing it. There's this deeply hidden biological mechanism pulling the strings here.
Section 1. Your brain on stress, the science of avoidance.
To really get why our brains actively hijack our focus the second we sit down to work, we've got to look at the neuroscience. Psychologists have found that your brain essentially has one main overriding job above absolutely everything else, and that is keeping you safe. It's constantly scanning your environment for perceived threats and uncertainty to protect you from harm. So yes, it's an ancient survival mechanism, but it's operating right there in your modern head every single day.
And here's the absolute kicker regarding how this ancient safety mechanism interprets our modern lives. Strangely enough, difficult work can literally feel like a physical threat to your nervous system. Think about it. Studying for an exam or launching a massive project creates a ton of uncertainty. Your brain immediately starts asking, wait, what if I fail? Or what if I just don't understand this? Those incredibly uncomfortable emotions trigger your brain's threat detection system. So to your mind, that textbook is a literal hazard, and it desperately wants you out of that dangerous, uncertain situation.
And right when your brain is sounding the alarm, frantically searching for an escape route, what's sitting right there next to you? Your smartphone. Your phone gives your brain exactly what it craves in a moment of panic. Instant relief. A quick laugh, a flashing notification, a super entertaining video. These are tiny, guaranteed rewards that require zero effort. Your brain isn't being malicious here. It's simply self-soothing in the face of what it genuinely thinks is a real threat.
Section 2. Everyday avoidance tactics.
Be honest with me for a second. Have you ever suddenly decided to clean your entire room instead of studying? You finally sit down to do the work, and out of nowhere, the dust on your bookshelf becomes the most urgent crisis in your entire life. If you're nodding along right now, I promise you, you are absolutely not alone. It's a classic symptom of exactly what we're talking about.
You might find yourself meticulously reorganizing your desk so all your pens are perfectly parallel. Or maybe you start checking your email for absolutely no reason, just refreshing a blank inbox. Or perhaps you suddenly remember, oh, I really need to go water my plants. Or you go grab a glass of water even though literally 5 minutes ago you weren't thirsty at all. We trick ourselves into feeling highly productive with these menial little tasks. But let's be real. We're just procrastinating.
These aren't just random, quirky moments of sudden cleanliness or hydration. Your brain is intentionally replacing an uncomfortable, stressful task with an easier, safer one. It is a highly coordinated biological retreat from the threat of difficult work. You aren't being productive. Your brain is just effectively hiding from the uncertainty of what you're actually supposed to be doing.
Section 3. The 2-minute solution.
So where do most of us go wrong when we're trying to fix this? Usually we just wait for motivation to strike. We think, you know what, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll start when I'm feeling inspired. But surprisingly, motivation is a terrible tool for beating procrastination. It completely comes and goes, it's totally fleeting, Instead, the winning strategy is shrinking the task. You literally have to make the task so impossibly small that your brain's threat radar doesn't even go off.
To bypass this threat detection, the research points us to 3 super simple steps. Step 1. Ignore motivation entirely. Just throw it out the window. Step 2. Shrink the task down. And Step 3. Set a timer for just 2 minutes. That is the secret right there. Do not promise yourself 3 hours of agonizing, uncertain work. Your brain is going to aggressively fight you on that because it looks like a massive threat. But if you just promise it 2 minutes of effort, the task becomes so small, your brain simply can't argue with it. It registers as totally safe. And the fascinating psychological reality of what happens next is that once you overcome that initial friction using that really simple 2-minute rule, your brain actually often decides to just keep going. Once you're in it, doing the work, your brain realizes, hey, this isn't actually as threatening as I thought. You naturally build confidence, the anxiety drops, and before you know it, that 2-minute timer goes off and you're still working, completely locked in.
Section 4. Working with your brain. Look, maybe you've spent years blaming yourself, constantly calling yourself lazy for something your brain was simply trying to protect you from. You can officially stop blaming yourself right now. Because as the research reminds us, understanding your mind is the very first step to mastering it. The goal here isn't to fight your biology, it's to work with it. So, the next time your brain sounds the alarm on a big project and you feel that overwhelming pull to just check your phone, don't argue with it. Just trick your threat detection system and set a timer for 2 short minutes. Ask yourself, what massive mountains could you conquer if you just promised yourself 2 minutes at a time?